In this video, we will try to solve 5 PYQs on the topic relationship between zeros and coefficients of a quadratic polynomial from the chapter Polynomials. Okay. So first let us go through theory quickly and try to solve the questions. If alpha and beta are the zeros of a quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, then alpha plus beta equal to minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square and alpha beta equal to constant term by coefficient of x square. Okay. Now first of all, we know that a quadratic polynomial, the general form of a quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. Okay. Where a, b, c are real numbers and the polynomial is in variable x. Okay. Now a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. Okay. Here a can't be 0 because if a is equal to 0, then this first term will completely vanish. So then it will actually become a linear polynomial where you can see the degree of the polynomial will be x, I mean 1. Okay. bx plus c means bx raised to 1 plus c. Okay. So as we know, the degree of a quadratic polynomial should be 2. Okay. What is the meaning of degree? Degree is the highest power of the variable present. Okay. In this polynomial, the highest power present is 2, which belongs to x square. Okay. So that is about a quadratic polynomial. Now, a quadratic polynomial can have a maximum of 2 zeros. Okay, maximum of 2 zeros. Usually, those zeros are represented by letters alpha and beta. Now, sum of zeros, that means alpha plus beta, can be written as minus of, don't forget this minus, negative, coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. Okay. So from the general format of general equation which we have taken in this particular case, ax square plus bx plus c, if you try to write alpha plus beta, which is equal to minus of coefficient of x will be b, divided by coefficient of x square will be a. So in this case, we can write alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a. Similarly, that was the sum of the zeros. Similarly, we can write a product of zeros as alpha into beta, which is equal to constant term. Okay, in our case, constant term, we have taken it as c divided by coefficient of x square, which is a. So alpha beta equal to c by a in our case. Okay. But actually, it is always safe to study the formula which is given here. Okay, alpha plus beta equal to minus of coefficient of x by coefficient of x square, as well as alpha beta equal to constant term by coefficient of x square. Why I am saying that is, sometimes they may give the quadratic polynomial in a different form. For example, they can give a quadratic polynomial of this format: bx square plus cx plus a. Okay, this is also a quadratic polynomial where the coefficients have changed now. Okay, so here if you try to use alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a and alpha beta equal to c by a, you may get a wrong answer. Okay, otherwise it is okay if the coefficients are not are actually given in this form, ax square plus bx plus c. You can also take sum of zeros as minus of b by a and product of zeros as c by a, no problem. But generally it is safe to use this formula which is given here as minus of coefficient of x by coefficient of x square and constant term by coefficient of x square. Okay, so now we will move to some questions based on this topic. Now first question is, if alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial p of x equal to x square minus ax minus b, then the value of alpha plus beta plus alpha beta is equal to. Okay, this was asked in 2025. Now first we will write the given polynomial p of x equal to x square minus ax minus b. Okay, now alpha plus beta, we know that alpha plus beta is nothing but sum of zeros. You know the formula, it is equal to minus of coefficient of x, which is minus a in this case, divided by coefficient of x square, which is plus 1. Now minus of minus a will be a by 1 is a itself. Okay, so we got alpha plus beta. Okay, because what they have asked, alpha plus beta plus alpha beta. So we are trying to calculate what they have asked in two parts. First part we have got. Second part is alpha beta. Alpha beta, from the formula which we discussed earlier, we know it's equal to constant term, which in our case is minus b divided by coefficient of x square, which is 1. So alpha beta is nothing but minus b. Okay. Now we got the two parts. Now we will calculate alpha plus beta plus alpha beta. Alpha plus beta is a plus alpha beta is minus b. So this is nothing but a minus b, because plus and minus will change to minus, will become minus. So a minus b is the correct answer, option C. Okay. Next question. If alpha and beta are zeros of the polynomial p of x equal to kx square minus 30x plus 45k, and alpha plus beta equal to alpha beta, then the value of k is, okay. So here also we will try to find out alpha plus beta and alpha beta from the given polynomial. So the polynomial is p of x equal to kx square minus 30x plus 45k. Now what is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta equal to minus of coefficient of x, which is minus 30, by coefficient of x square, which is k. This is equal to 30 by k. Okay. Similarly, I calculate alpha beta. Alpha beta equal to constant term. In our case, it is 45k divided by coefficient of x square, which is k. This is equal to 45 itself. K and k will get cancelled. Now we got k, alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Now we will substitute these values into the equation which they have given. Alpha plus, they have given alpha plus beta equal to alpha beta. So now I can write 30 by k, which I got, which it will be equal to 45. Okay, they are asking the value of k. Just by cross multiplying, we will get 45k equal to 30, k equal to 30 by 45. I can simplify it like it can be divided by 5, so it will be 6 by 9. Again I can simplify it to 2 by 3. Okay, so 2 by 3, option D will be our answer. Okay, yes, we move to the next question. If the zeros of the polynomial ax square plus bx plus 2a by b are reciprocals of each other, then the value of b is, okay. So here the given polynomial p of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus 2a by b. Then they are saying the zeros of this polynomial are reciprocals of each other. So whenever they ask a question of this type, you have to understand that whenever one zero is the reciprocal of the other, when we multiply those two zeros, always the answer will be 1, isn't it? Whenever we multiply a number with its reciprocal, the answer will be 1. For example, 5 into 1 by 5 is 1. Okay, this logic we have to apply here. We know that alpha into beta, okay, this will be equal to 1, as according to them. They are saying 1 0 is reciprocal of the other. But from the equation, we know alpha beta to be constant divided by coefficient of x square, which in our case will be 2a by b divided by coefficient of x square is a. Okay, so this must be equal to 1. Okay, since the zeros are reciprocals of each other. Now 2a by b divided by a, this a and this a will get cancelled, and we will get 2 by b equal to 1. And from here, if we cross multiply, we will get b equal to 2. So option A will be our correct answer. Now moving to the fourth question. The zeros of a polynomial x square plus px plus q are twice the zeros of the polynomial 4x square minus 5x minus 6. The value of p is, okay. Now this can be done in two ways. Either you can try to find out the zeros of the polynomial, given polynomial 4x square minus 5x minus 6, and then after finding the zeros, you can they have given that the zeros of the polynomial x square plus px plus q are twice the zeros of the polynomial 4x square minus 5x minus 6. So after finding the real zeros of 4x square minus 5x minus 6, you can just multiply it with 2 to get the zeros of x square plus px plus q. And after that, you can use the sum of zeros and product of zeros relations to find out p. But this is a lengthy method. The easy method will be first we can find out the zeros of the given sum of zeros of the given polynomial 4x square minus 5x minus 6. Okay, here let alpha and beta be the zeros of this polynomial. Okay, now we know alpha plus beta, then it will be minus of minus 5, minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square, which is equal to 5 by 4. Okay, now according to the question, zeros of the polynomial x square plus px plus q should be 2 alpha and 2 beta, isn't it? Okay, that is what they have mentioned in the question. Now, for this particular polynomial, the sum of polynomial will be, sum of zeros will be 2 alpha and 2 alpha plus 2 beta, which is equal to 2 into alpha plus beta. Okay, that should be equal to minus of coefficient of x, which is p, by coefficient of x square, which is 1. Okay, so now the LHS we have 2, and then we have alpha plus beta. But alpha plus beta we have already calculated here. Okay, from the earlier equation. So that value we will input here. So 2 into 5 by 4 will be equal to minus p. This implies p will be equal to minus 10 by 4, which is equal to minus 5 by 2. So that will be our answer. So option A. Okay. So we'll move to the next question. This is the last question. If alpha and beta are zeros of the polynomial x square minus 1, then value of alpha plus beta is. Okay. So here the polynomial is p of x equal to x square minus 1. Now alpha plus beta, as we have already learned, which is equal to minus of coefficient of x, which in this case will be 0, divided by coefficient of x square is 1. So alpha plus beta is nothing but 0. Okay. So we can directly write the answer. Yes, we got the answer, option D. Okay.